Doctors. Welcome to our essential lecture on a brand new topic for your 2025 MDCAT syllabus, homeostasis. What allows our bodies to function perfectly, whether we're in the heat of Lahore in June or the cold of Murray in January? The answer is homeostasis. Derived from Greek words meaning same state, homeostasis is the ability of an organism to maintain a stable, constant internal environment despite changes in the external environment. Think of it as your body's intelligent thermostat, constantly making adjustments to keep everything just right. For your MDCAT, you need to understand three main areas of homeostasis: osmoregulation, the balance of water and solutes; thermoregulation, the control of body temperature; excretion, the removal of metabolic waste. Let's start with the fundamental principles that govern all of these processes. Every homeostatic mechanism operates like a control system with three core components. 1. Receptor. This is the sensor. It detects a change or stimulus in the internal environment. For example, thermoreceptors in your skin detect a drop in temperature. 2. Control center. This is the decision maker, usually the brain, specifically the hypothalamus. It receives information from the receptor and compares it to a set point. For example, the normal body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. 3. Effector. This is the part of the body that responds to the command from the control center to correct the change. This could be muscles or glands. The most important mechanism for maintaining homeostasis is negative feedback. This is a critical concept. Negative feedback is a corrective mechanism where the effector's response negates or reverses the original stimulus. Think about it. If your body temperature drops, the negative feedback response is to raise it back to normal through shivering. If your blood sugar rises, the response is to lower it. The system always works to oppose the change. This is the essence of maintaining balance. Now, let's apply these concepts to osmoregulation, the regulation of water and solute concentration in the body fluids. The star player here is the kidney. The kidney is part of the urinary system, which includes the kidneys, ureters, bladder, and urethra. The functional unit of the kidney, where all the magic happens, is the nephron. You have over 1 million of these microscopic tubules in each kidney. Let's trace the path of blood filtration through the nephron. It's a 3-step process. Step 1, glomerular filtration at the Bowman's capsule. Blood enters a tangled ball of capillaries called the glomerulus under high pressure. This pressure forces water, glucose, salts, amino acids, and urea out of the blood and into the Bowman's capsule. This collected fluid is called the glomerular filtrate. Crucially, large molecules like proteins and blood cells are too big to pass through and remain in the blood. This is a key point for MCQs. Step 2, selective reabsorption at the proximal tubule, loop of Henle and distal tubule. The filtrate now contains waste products we want to get rid of, but also many useful substances our body needs to keep. The nephron's job is to reabsorb these essential substances back into the blood. In the proximal convoluted tubule, or PCT, most of the good stuff is reabsorbed. All glucose, all amino acids, and most of the water and salts. This happens through both active transport and osmosis. The loop of Henle is a master of water conservation. Its primary role is to create a high salt concentration, a hypertonic environment, in the medulla of the kidney. This allows for the maximum reabsorption of water. In the distal convoluted tubule, or DCT, more selective reabsorption occurs, but this part is under hormonal control, which we'll discuss next. Step 3, tubular secretion at the distal tubule. This is the final cleanup step. Waste products like excess potassium ions, hydrogen ions, and drugs are actively transported from the blood into the filtrate. This is important for regulating blood pH. The remaining fluid, now concentrated waste, is officially urine. It flows into the collecting duct, then to the renal pelvis and out via the ureter. The kidney doesn't work alone. Its function is fine-tuned by 2 critical hormones, ADH and aldosterone, Antidiuretic Hormone, or ADH. Think of ADH as the water-retaining hormone. The stimulus for ADH release is dehydration, when there is low water in the blood. In response, ADH is released from the posterior pituitary gland and makes the walls of the distal tubule and collecting duct more permeable to water. The result is that more water is reabsorbed from the filtrate back into the blood. This produces a small volume of concentrated hypertonic urine. For your MDCAT, link high ADH with concentrated urine. Aldosterone. This hormone is all about retaining salt, and therefore water. The stimulus for aldosterone release is low blood pressure or low sodium levels. In response, aldosterone is released from the adrenal cortex and acts on the distal tubule, causing it to actively reabsorb more sodium ions into the blood. The result is that water follows the reabsorbed sodium via osmosis, increasing blood volume and pressure. Let's quickly cover the other two pillars of homeostasis. Thermoregulation, maintaining our core body temperature at 37 degrees Celsius. If you're too hot, your body responds with vasodilation, where blood vessels in the skin widen to release heat, and sweating, where evaporation cools the skin. If you're too cold, your body responds with vasoconstriction, where blood vessels narrow to conserve heat, shivering, where rapid muscle contractions generate heat, and the cessation of sweating. Excretion, this is the removal of metabolic waste. The primary nitrogenous waste in humans is urea. The urea cycle. When we break down amino acids, the toxic ammonia produced is converted into the less toxic urea in the liver. Kidneys' role. This urea is then transported via the blood to the kidneys, where it is filtered out and becomes a major component of urine.